0.9%. 0.9% month over month on the PPI. This is worse. This is a worse miss than the freaking than the jobs report was revised. Oh my point! It was expected 0.2%, and then it rose. And then it came in hot at not 0.3, not 0.25, not 0.4, 0.9%. That is a 10.8% annualized rate of inflation. Hello, and the people that are saying, oh, tariffs are a one-time. Yes, it's a one-time. Okay, well, okay. That's like saying, okay, what if I told you that inflation would only be checked, or would only be what's it called? Whatever, checked, measured. There we go, measured once a year. Technically, then everything is a one-time inflation. 10%, 10.8% inflation is a lot of inflation. Oh my goodness. So, but my previous video, sorry, I'm heated, but in my previous video, I was talking about how services, right? Services would cause there'd be a lot of inflation in services because you just deported or you removed a bunch of the workforce, right? You're lowering the incentive for companies to hire these people because especially with the new legislation that's being thought of, right? That they're probably editing right now, but if you say, okay, instead of doing this raffle-based or this lottery-based H-1B visa thingy, we're going to do it but based off of how much you get paid, you lose this cheap workforce because H-1B visas, the people that are working on those H-1B visas or being sponsored, they're only working there because it's cheap labor, right? If you make it not cheap anymore, companies aren't going to hire those people. Hello? Now, you add in tariffs. And I can't believe that how is September rate cuts still at a 93% possibility? What is the dual mandate of the Fed? It is stable prices, right? Inflation, maintaining inflation, or keeping inflation like down, right? And also unemployment. Nowhere in those two dual mandates do you hear job growth, right? Unemployment is still at below 5%. That is effectively 0% unemployment. Do people... Oh my... Guys, this is no bueno for the economy. Is it good for stocks? Yes. Why is it good for stocks? Because when you have a projected or annualized 10.8% inflation, you have to invest in assets or else your money is going to get turned to crap. That's why the stock market should be doing well, but that means nothing about the economy, and you're going to have this kind of weird stock market does well, but then we're kind of running towards a recession. I'm Jackson Hole's coming up. I don't see how Powell can signal any type of rate cut when you have this. Okay, yes, you can say, oh, it's tariffs are a one-time thingy for inflation, right? It's only going to affect inflation once. But that is also a stupid argument because that's like saying, okay, well, if instead of measuring inflation instead of measuring it once a month, we measure it once a year, right? Now, anything you do is a one-time has a one-time effect to inflation because you're only measuring it once. It doesn't matter. That's like saying, would you rather get like punched in the face once really hard, or you divide that punch equally 10 times? That's not even right because it's different. It's like if you got a bat and then you hit a house, hit a wall at 100% strength versus hitting it 10 times at 10% strength, right? The damage, honestly, for the 10%, that's also a bad example. But the point is that 10% spread out over multiple triggers is the same thing as 10% spread out or compacted in one thing. Okay? If you eat a pie and you eat one slice 10 times, it's the same thing as if you eat the entire pie at once. There we go. Now, okay, stupid analogies aside, 10.8% annualized inflation, and people are still expecting a rate cut, and some people are expecting multiple rate cuts. Are you out of your mind?